Everyone, Willie Miranda with Miranda Real Estate Group. I'm here in Latham, New York to do our Community Business Spotlight for this month. And we're going to be actually interviewing and visiting with Dr. Ed Williams here at the Williams Center. Come on in and let's take a look.
You just built an amazing business here, and I wanted to share it with a lot of the people here in the Capital District as to what you do, because a lot of people that I know, not everyone's getting plastic surgery on a day-to-day basis, right? Let's start off by talking a little about how you got into being a plastic surgeon.
Yeah, well, I went to medical school. Believe it or not, I wanted to be a veterinarian at one point, and I went to medical school, and after changing gears, and I thought I wanted to be a cardiologist, and so I rotated on a head and neck cancer service, and I just fell in love with the surgery, and I fell in love with the anatomy. Fast forward, I did head and neck surgery, and when I was in my training, I fell in love with trauma, putting people back together. And that was it. I remember I was like up all night doing this case, and I was like jacked and high, and I'm like, I'm doing this. And so I went down the direction of facial plastic surgery, and I did a fellowship, and that's how that all happened. I had a vision that, which is what I wanted to be able to do our surgery in the safe setting, just like we do in the hospital. Same standards as the hospital. I also wanted to have everyone highly specialized and not crossing over. So that if you think about it, if you specialize in doing one thing, you're going to have a unique advantage over everyone else. And that's the tone we have in this group. Dr. Pontius, who does just non-surgical, that's all she does as a board-certified facial plastic surgeon. For me, I do primarily facelift surgery and fixed noses. My other partner, Dr. Polanese, does breast and body work. And so, and that's unique. I mean, if you look around, not only this area, but if you look around the country, that's a vision you don't typically see. People cross over. They do, if you go through plastic surgery training, you feel qualified, and you are, to do everything. But I thought, how can we have a unique advantage over everybody? Can you possibly do a good job with hand surgery, facelift surgery, breast surgery, all this and be good at it?
Right.
And I have always contended that if you want to be the best, you have to just focus. And it's hard in the beginning to sit on your hands and say, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And that to me is a huge advantage, because if you're getting something fixed, wouldn't you rather have it be fixed by someone who does this every single day?
Right. Here in the Capital Region, I feel, at least from a real estate standpoint, it's a small region. I mean, it's a big region, but it's a small region.
It is.
Why did you pick the Capital Region to have your practice versus, say, a bigger metro area?
I mean, it's a very simple answer. I grew up in the Hudson Valley, and I like the Northeast. I like to ski. I love the terrain. I love the lakes. I trained in Chicago. I spent time in DC. I didn't want to live in a metropolitan area. It's just not who I am. And nowadays, with teaching the way it is, I mean, I'm on every national podium there is, international podium, and I can do that out of Albany. And I can live here and have a great quality of life for my family. So I didn't know a soul here. But I wanted to go where there was a university and a medical center where I could teach. And to this day, I still have residents rotating with me. I mean, it's all about, right? The best leaders are worried about succession. They're worried about the next generation, and I get a big kick out of it.
No, and like you said, once you have the experience, you're able to give it to others that actually do something with it. It's very rewarding for sure.
Yeah, for us, we for years we go doing all this pro bono stuff, but take it another level. If I can teach someone how to do, you're leveraging your effectiveness or influence is much greater than just you doing it. If you want to be the best, you got to get on the podium, you got to speak, you got to hold yourself accountable to high standards. And to me, that's what differentiates us. All of our docs are leaders. And I figured if we put this facility in nearby an airport, we would get people from out of town if I was able to do a good job really letting people know we're here. And we do. I mean, a number of our patients come from out of town and fly here to see us, which is pretty cool. Again, it was a dream 20 years ago, but it's actually happened. But if you don't shoot for up here, you're never going to get up here. And so I don't want to be the biggest, I just want to be the best. And if you know our doctors, I mean, they're rock stars.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I want to make it worth someone's time to get in a plane and come here. And that's what was always my vision, and that's why we're here by the airport. I find what I do very, very rewarding. Not a day goes by that I take a splint off of someone's nose that we fixed last week an 18-year-old beautiful girl who is very self-conscious of her nose, and they give you a big hug and they write you a letter and they say, you've changed my life. I mean, that makes you feel good.
So I got a great book the other day in the mail, and it was a gift from you, signed by you.
Because you're one of my inspirations.
Yes, well, thank you very much. And the title of the book is The White Coat Entrepreneur, and just some really great stuff that's in here that you talked about, but a lot of it had to do with leadership and different things. But talk about why did you write this book?
I wanted to dispel the myth that you can be a really good surgeon and more importantly, a really good doctor. It takes more to be a good doctor than it does to be a good surgeon, believe it or not. But I wanted to dispel the myth that you can be a good doctor and a good surgeon and still be a business person. Because in reality, if you do a good job with your business, you're taking care of a lot of people. Not just our patients, but you're taking care of your team.
Sure.
I mean, I wanted to create the best place to work. And yet so many of my colleagues don't get this right. So to me, that's why I wrote the book. I want to inspire younger doctors to get involved and take a leadership position in our healthcare system. We as doctors, we want to be the best technicians.
Right.
But you have to step out of that role to run a business. And if you don't, then you're giving up you're abdicating that responsibility to someone else. And you may not like the outcome. I think it's particularly hard for doctors to switch roles like that.
Sure.
And that really is the purpose for the book.
That's a great book. No, it's a great thing for sure, and congratulations. It's awesome.
Thanks.